All right, last quick video for now. I just wanted to go over the couple of different ways you can rig a Senko, or again, this is called a stick bait. This is actually a Bass Pro Shops brand. I think I sent you some of these. But the gold standard is Gary Yamamoto Senkos. They just have the best action, but they're also like $7 or $8 for a pack, and they're really soft, so sometimes the fish bites. You catch one fish, and you got to change your bait. So they can get expensive. So the first tried and true method is just a rigged weightless like this, Texas style, but with no weight. So you're just going to have it like this, and you're just going to cast it out, and you're just going to let it sink. 90% of the time, the fish is going to grab it while it's sinking. So much so that you want to let it sink on a slack line. So you cast out, and you want to leave your line slack on the surface of the water. Don't reel in the slack. A lot of times you won't even feel the bite. You'll see your line jerk. So right after you cast a Senko and it's falling, watch for your line to jerk, or sometimes your line will just start swimming away. That's your cue to set the hook because a fish has sucked it in its mouth. The other way you can rig a Senko, and this, nobody really knew about this. It became popular after that style. It's called wacky. And all it is basically is, instead of rigging it like that, you're going to see, and there's kind of a smooth section in the middle of the Senko, kind of like a real worm has. And you're just going to hook it through the middle. Just like that. And that's called a wacky rig. And you can rig any kind of rubber worm this style. It just gives it a little bit more of a finesse presentation. Gives it a little bit more action. Now, if you're fishing in a pond, like the ones around your house that have a lot of grass, you're going to need to use a weedless hook. I don't think I sent you any of these, so you'll have to find some. But in this situation, you just take that little weed guard right there, and after you hook it, you go and you put it like this, and you go over the point of the hook, like that. And that way, as this thing is falling down in the weeds, this little weed guard keeps your hook from getting caught in the grass. It's not 100% weedless. It'll still catch on some stuff. But that's a weedless, wacky Senko setup. This is real popular. If I'm fishing in water that doesn't have as much grass, clear water, I'll usually use a wacky setup. Otherwise, if I'm fishing in real heavy, thick vegetation and stuff, I'll usually fish it the other way. There's also little rubber rings you can buy. So instead of having to hook through your bait, because you'll destroy your bait pretty quick, you can work a little rubber ring up on your bait, and then you just hook through the little rubber ring, and it kind of saves your bait sometimes. I might end up sending you some of those, but that's just the two different ways you can rig a Senko or stick bait.